you that are wearing iPAS t-shirts to stand up? iPAS t-shirts? Love it. I love it.
I didn't fit.
How many of you ordered t-shirts but didn't get them yet?
I didn't fit.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. Can you hear me now? Okay. Well, thank you everyone for coming. I appreciate it. This was supposed to be a small group, and look at what we got here. Pretty awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you for coming. You know, I got some funny stories to tell you guys. So the reason we wanted to hold this meeting is because this is the first launch event since iPAS's inception, since we launched about 50 days or so ago. Okay? This is a historical moment for a lot of you, all of you here today. I want you to think about where you're sitting and think about this room being in the thousands next time. Okay? Because I can guarantee you that is what's going to happen. Because I thought there was going to be 100 people in here today, and we already beat that. Okay? So, it was kind of last minute. We have some really juicy stuff to show you guys here today, and they didn't know we needed a screen. I said, no, we must show this stuff off to you today. So, you guys are going to get some sneak peeks into some cool tech stuff. You're going to learn about some things that are going to help you make more money. You're going to learn about some new releases of iPAS, and you're going to hear about some stats in the last almost 2 months now that I'm going to share with you, just so you know where we're going and what's in store for you, okay? We're going to have some guest speakers, and most importantly, I just want to get you guys excited for the event coming up with Empower Network, because that's why you're here, right? Right?
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of the guy who's supposed to get you ready for David Wood, and that's a tall feat to do. And in fact, David Wood's going to be here in about a half hour, and so we'll probably go over by about 4 hours, so just, get comfortable. Just, you know what to expect, you guys. How many of you, it's your first time to an Empower Network event? Wow. That's awesome. How many of you, this is your second time to an Empower Network event? Keep your hands up. Third time. Wow. Fourth time. Fifth. Sixth. How many of you have been to the very first Empower Network event? Awesome. What's even more awesome is there's a lot of new blood in here. People that haven't been on the journey with Empower Network for the last 3 years. That is exciting because this company, Empower Network, and what we've done, you guys, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Chris Jones. I'm an affiliate just like all of you. Okay, I've been in this industry 8.5 years. I've seen companies come and go. I've seen companies that look perfect on paper. When Empower Network came across my desk 3 years ago, I thought it was the ugliest looking business I had ever seen. The ugliest. And I did. Okay? And during the process of this company, I said, well, you know what? I knew the market needed it. I knew the market wanted what David Wood was putting together. And look at where we've come. A company that's paid out over $100 million in affiliate commissions, breaking record after record after record. So you know what? I don't want a company that looks good on paper. Did Apple look good on paper? No. Did Microsoft look on paper in the garage they started in? No. I want a company that believes. I want a company that will work with affiliates like ourselves and say, you know what? We want to empower you to build systems for your organization like iPAS. How cool is that? The interesting part is I've been in this industry from MLMs to direct commerce. I've never seen a company ever allow its affiliates to build a system and have access to their technology like Empower Network has. That is the reason why we're here today, and that is the reason why iPAS is so successful so early on. So I just want to thank Empower Network. We're going to thank David Wood for allowing us to fulfill this dream and this vision to create what we believe to be the best digital business model out there on the internet today. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, how many of you, see, I don't even know if I have mine, that would be embarrassing. Let's see. How many of you, I do, thank goodness, have one of these? Hold hold up your black cards. Pull them out. Pull out $5. Pass it to your neighbor. Bring them up. I'm just kidding. Hold up your black cards. You know what this represents? Freedom. Power. Creativity. Empowerment. Right? Personality. Innovation. Success. This card represents whatever you want it to represent. It is your black card. Alright? This is the first internet marketing or internet business card that does what?
Gives you freedom.
Makes you money.
Yeah.
Right? This card will represent a status that all of you are part of, and that will begin to transform as you see iPAS start to take form and the new things we're doing with iPAS TV and the coaching staff that we have behind here. This card will do so much more than what you realize it does in your wallet right now. Okay? But I'm proud of you all for bringing this. This is going to be your entry ticket. How many of you are going to the Saturday night party? Awesome. It's going to be a blast. Now let me ask you, how many of you were at the party in Miami at the stadium? How cool was that?
Yeah.
So everybody kept asking, Chris, how are you going to beat that? You guys rented out Marlin Stadium. How are you going to beat that? Well, you can't have a party on the moon.
Yeah.
So it's not about the venue, it's about the people. So you're going to see an intimate setting here at the Hard Rock on Saturday, and you're going to start to see an example of where we're going and the excitement of people, because a lot of you have never done this before or been part of this. So everything you see here this weekend with the Power Network and us, it's about the user experience. Okay? And when the iPAS tour starts after the first of the year, when I'm going around city to city and community to community supporting you, you're going to see this take all new form. Okay? So I want to tell you a funny story. How many of you are friends of mine on Facebook? I know a lot of you. I'm horrible at getting back to you guys, so I apologize. I made a post about a week and a half ago saying that some big things coming. It has to do with the Bachelor TV series and a six-figure contract. How many of you saw that? One of the most embarrassing things I've ever done in my life. So I made that post because I thought it'd be a creative way to spill the beans on some stuff. But all in all, my family started calling me, my friends started calling me and said, Chris, are you going to be in The Bachelor? Really? You're going to be on The Bachelor? I didn't answer them. I just kind of drug it out, played that a little bit, and I said no. A little bit later I said, no, I'm not going to be in The Bachelor. But we just built a six-figure contract with one of the producers and video guys responsible that did film for the Bachelor TV series for your new iPAS videos. All of them. In fact, that gentleman standing back there, Ryan, if you raise your hand, I call him Hollywood. We've been filming since Tuesday. We'll be filming all week. We'll be flying out to Minneapolis and Las Vegas to film the rest of this. You guys, the new presentation coming with iPAS is going to bring smiles and cries like you wouldn't believe.
Nice.
It's going to use emotional storytelling to get people to see why they need this black card. Okay? Now, I want to talk to you about the evolution of iPAS real quick. I'm going to tell you about some updates, and then we'll get going showing you some crazy, good, juicy stuff. So when we launched iPAS, of course, you can never anticipate the marketplace. You can try to, right? You don't know what they want. You don't know how they're going to react. And a lot of you say, well, Chris, when are you going to launch this thing? You keep delaying and delaying and delaying. I think we said we were going to launch back in February or something. I don't know what crazy idea that was. But the reason being is because we have to hold ourselves to a certain standard. Okay? We're not just another website promoting some product here, right? We are trying to create the ultimate user experience because the more people want to be in iPAS and the Power Network, what happens?
The more money I make.
The more product they buy. Okay? Look at all the people that spend time on Facebook. What's the major revenue stream from Facebook or Google?
The ads.
Ads. Why are ads so effective? Because people are there all the time. Okay? iPAS is no different. We want to create a user experience where people want to be back there. They want to see their commissions popping up left and right, $7 after $7, right? $3,000 after $3,000. We want them to watch iPAS TV and see what Kevin Sousa's going to do next week. And what kind of crazy thing Lawrence Tam's going to say. Who knows what that guy will say. All right? But that's what keeps people coming back to your business. And this is a huge gap in the industry. Because everybody's concerned about sales funnels, right? Let's just sell people stuff. Well, I don't believe in that. Let's get them into the vision of this. Get them in for a very small price. That small win that you all love, right? Those text messages you get, they're pretty fun, right?
Best way ever.
And then when you all of a sudden get that upsell for the six-figure shortcuts, that's fun, right?
Yeah.
Okay? And then all of a sudden you see a black sale come in because one of your coaches just talked to somebody. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Okay? But what happens after that is even more important. So you got this black card member, right? Now what happens? They stay in the business, they make some money. How can we, as a company and as leaders, improve their user experience where they just love this culture? They love being in there. They love taking action. If a campaign that they do doesn't make them the money that they're anticipating, they're still happy. Why? Because they want to be part of this. So this is the gap in the industry that I saw many years ago. It says it's all about sales. It's not about culture. You know, we want to keep people entertained. So that's what iPAS is really moving towards. So this new production company is going to use emotional storytelling to engage people in a way where they can make them cry, laugh, smile, and say, you know what, I know why I need these products. Okay, but you can't do that right away. So when we launched, we had to get through legal and compliance, right? We had to make sure the core components were there, knowing that phase 2 was just going to be completely transform the message. Okay, but I wanted to produce a product for you guys that could see results fast. All right, that would be fun, and then we can optimize it from there. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So how many of you have had a $7 sale with iPAS?
Oh, yeah.
All right. How about the $47 subscription sales? How about the Starter Kit Pro sales? Mm-hmm. Silver?
Oh, yeah.
Gold?
Mm-hmm.
Black? All right. That is our model. That is what we're about. Now, we are transforming some things. And before I bring up our guest speakers, we're changing a little bit of how iPAS is done because we have to adapt, right? There's a few things that we do really well that we focus on. Just as a company, just so you know, we focus on stability, making sure the website's always up, always active, and working really well. The second thing is support. We spend an unearthly amount of money on support because we know that's such an important piece, whether it be on the phone or ticket or whatever, and that will continue to be a big point for iPAS because as we grow, we have to support them. The third part is innovation. Innovation is very, very key. Okay? We want to innovate new ways for you guys to make money, and if something's not working, we fix it right away. Okay? We have what I believe one of the best tech teams and one of the best innovation teams on the internet. Now, we're not Google, but I'll tell you what, I'll put ourselves up against a whole lot of companies. All right? And as you probably noticed, you know, I think it was 3 days, but 3 hours into our launch, our servers crashed. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
That was not fun. That was, for the programmers, it wasn't fun. So, usually I've never had a launch. This is my 6th launch in the history since I've been online, and I've always crashed the server doing it. And they say you're not doing it right unless you crash the server. But usually it's like the 2nd or 3rd day, we didn't even make it 4 hours. All right? And so part of this is evolution. So we were changing the model a little bit because as you saw me, right, remember that whiteboard presentation I did, right, with the X's and the O's and boxes, okay? When I've been marketing online, I spent a lot of time saying, you know what, I just want to get a buyer, right? Because that's what you're in business to do. But it works for somebody like myself. But when you have affiliates at this large of a team, and as we grow, you have to break it down even farther. Let me explain why. So when somebody comes into the business and you expose it to them, you know, right now the way it is, you get that trial at $7, right? And maybe, I think it's about 33% of them are getting the upsell, okay? It's working fantastic. It's above average for the industry. And from that point, after the 7 days, we're having 63% of people pay $47 a month. Well above the industry average. Huge numbers, guys. And I know you don't quite know what that means. You may not be used to this model. We call it forced continuity, right? Your subscriptions. And you're going to see a new dashboard statistic there where you'll be able to see what your current residual is with iPAS, what it is with Empower Network, and then what it is collectively. Right? Because that is adding up so fast you probably don't even know it. Okay? Especially at 63%. But here's what we had to fix. Is if somebody buys traffic or does blogging or whatever, and maybe they make a couple trials, but then maybe it stops. What does the average person say? Well, I didn't get the result I liked, and just didn't work out how I quite liked, right? There's nothing they know where to go. They don't know what to do from there. So we have to break it down even to a micro level to get them smaller wins. So now what we've done as of, I believe, 2 days ago, new capture pages have been updated in the back office. Have you seen those? All right, here's why we did that. That is even a smaller win than a buyer. Because when somebody comes into your funnel, especially when the new blogging platform goes live, you're going to be able to build this massive list. And anytime you have an opportunity or product that is so popular like this, you have to build that relationship and you have to collect those. Because eventually you want them to buy from you, right? You don't want them to go to Google and search someone else. You want them to buy from you. So the capture page is really critical. So we have a custom capture page builder in there. All of that is set up. It's click and point, super easy. Win number 1. Then from there, they choose to buy the trial. Okay, win number 2. But some people won't buy that trial. And that's the leads you see in your system now. Have you guys seen that? Leads. Those are actually partial account creations. Those aren't just email addresses. That's somebody who had to put name, address, phone number, all of that in there. Okay? So we're going to give you the ability to actually contact those people, or our coaches will contact them for you to say, hey, saw you got your account created, but for some reason your credit card didn't go through. How can I help you go through that process? Win number 3. Okay? There's 3 wins compared to the 1. Right? Now after that, we know that 63% of the people want to use iPAS. That means they're very excited. But how do we get more empowered network sales? That's what we're here to do, right? Well, we emotionally engage them. So once they come in, my biggest thing now, like hiring Hollywood back here, is to give goosebumps. If somebody pays for a trial and the first thing they see and they get goosebumps, do you think they're going to buy?
Yeah.
Yes. Our presentation that we have now is very long. It's very mechanical and cold. The reason we did that is we had to pass through compliance, which took us many months, but we needed to get that out of the way, right? You heard me complain about that a lot. Okay? We're done. We're past that. We're good. We're in the clear, all right? Now we can tell stories. Now we can get smiles and cries out of people. Now we can inspire people to say, you know what? I'm committed to this business. I'm not just going to pay $47. I'm going to go all in. Okay?
Yeah.
You're going to see a dramatic shift in your power sales very soon. Okay? Really cool stuff. So I didn't just make this up, just so you know, this was all part of the plan about 60 days ago. But we have to do things in order. We need to get feedback from you, from the leadership, from other people in iPAS and Empower Network, just so we know where we need to go as a team. And it's because of you that I believe we're going to have such an incredible system here. And with what Empower Network is going to talk to you about this weekend, their new blogs, new systems, you guys, I see us hitting momentum right around the new year again.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is you guys are all part of that. So us who've been part of this for 2-3 years, we've stuck it out. We've seen change happen. But now we get to be part of that change. We get to be part of that new momentum. And you're going to see David Wood come up here and talk about momentum and where this company's going. And you're going to hear it all weekend. And it's going to give you goosebumps. Because I've seen it coming. And I know you guys are about to hear real soon. Okay? So I'm going to bring up some people, and they're going to show you some new things. I'm going to bring up the utmost expert in blogging. A good friend of mine, you know him, Chris Record is his name. How many know who Chris Record is?
Yeah.
He's a stud of all studs. He also has a beard like myself. Chris is going to be an integral part of our strategy of blogging. How many of you ever blogged before? Wow. How many have never blogged before? Okay. I'm going to tell you something. I was in Denver. You guys saw me on that webcast with David a while back, not too recently. I saw the stats of the Empower Network, and I saw their commissions where they were when they had the old blogging system, and the amount of traffic they had was enormous. And I'm not even a blogger, okay? And I sat with Mars, and we sat in the room, and we said, this is the lifeline of Empower. This is what makes Empower so unique. Because think of it like this, and we were just talking about this over lunch, is you have all these people blogging, right? They put 5 blogs out, 1 a day or 5 a day, and that creates residual traffic. And even if they quit, that residual traffic will remain, and that will all go to you. All of it. So it creates this culture of sustainability, and that is why Empower Network has done things that no other company has done. $100 million in commissions is nothing to shy away from, right? It's huge. Never seen that happen before. It's because of blogging. So part of iPAS for you selling trial sales and building this business is going to be having your own custom iPAS2 blog. Okay? With plugins. So you can look like our brand, you can customize it to your brand, but you get the power of what Empower Network is about to do, and you're going to get a lot of residual traffic doing it. So Chris Record's going to come up here and share that strategy, show you some juicy stuff, show you, I think he's going to actually show you the custom theme for iPAS, okay? And that will be integrated into your iPAS2 back office. So every new member that comes into iPAS and decides to go pro, they're going to get their own custom iPAS blog, they're going to get the education of how to blog, and what that's going to do is drive a whole heck of a lot more trial sales.
Yeah.
Okay? Organically, for free. For free. Okay? And before I do that, I don't want to take up too much time because I want to give these guys lots of time to show you the cool stuff. And Adam's actually going to come up here and show you our new CRM, which is a contact manager that we're building from scratch for you to work your leads. From partials to trials, all of that. What's that? Okay. So he's going to put it up. I'm going to talk about it. All right. I'm not the tech guy, but I'll do my best. All right, so a big part of iPAS is how we manage people. How do we see people coming in and out and interacting with them, okay? The more we know about them, the more money we make, okay? Every good business, whether it's IBM or Apple, has good customer relationship managers. So we want you guys to see everything, when it happens, how it happens. And if you're using a coach, we want coaches to be able to know when somebody is on that last video ready to go black, we want them to know exactly at that point when to call them. Okay? All right, well, let's take a second and say thank you to those coaches. Who of you are an iPAS coach in the room? Stand up, please. Stand up. When you leave, you need to look at these guys, shake their hand, give them a hug, because these guys have been working for months preparing for the launch. And he's always asked me, Chris, when can we start? When can we start? When can we start selling? When can we start coaching? Every day that I'm in the office, I hear it from Anthony Williams and Jeff and all these guys, and they're doing a fantastic job. Fantastic job. So thank you guys. You're doing such a good job with the members. One thing that this is not is hard sales. We are legitimately coaching people. Okay? We're showing them the process and showing them why they need to have these products to succeed. So part of that is allowing the coaches or yourselves the ability to see what's happening and when it's happening. So you'll notice here the member feed that is probably pretty familiar with what you're used to. We have a brand new CRM, which on the left-hand side, you can actually filter your leads by if they're a partial buyer, meaning they went through part of the process, if they're a trial member, canceled member, where they're at in the status, so if they're a pending sale, completed sale, if they're urgent, if they cancel their membership, if they're a working lead or future sale. Okay, so you can filter them out that way. You'll be able to see their priority. You can star them, so if you have a group of people that you're interacting with, you can make them as your favorites, and you can see their product level. Okay, and you can also see the stage that are in. Why is this important? Because we want to know where people are at in the buying process. Do you know why that's important? Because it's really key to talk to someone when they're at that one point that they are emotionally struck, where they're ready to buy. The best case scenario. So we're going to allow you guys to have that when that happens. And if you don't want to, your coaches are going to take advantage of that like you would believe. Okay? So another cool thing is when you do filter this, you're going to be able to see kind of a snapshot of that person's information. So you'll see at the very top their information. You'll be able to see if there's a pending deal or if there's another deal, meaning maybe they're going to upgrade or maybe they're interested in a new product level, what stage they're in, so kind of a timeline, if you will. Can you guys see this okay?
The podium's in the way.
What's that? Am I in the way? Oh, the podium? I don't know if I can do that. I'm not that strong. So you can see if they went through the setup process, so you can see if somebody's getting hung up at all. You can see where they're at. They downloaded their game plan. We have a new system that's coming out called Lead Profiler. So it's going to be an additional service. So if you want to see someone's net worth, what their house cost is, where they come from, their family income, all of that information, you're going to be able to download that. Wow. How cool is that, right? You're going to see notes as the coaches are doing what they do best. You're going to be able to see notes or leave notes as you talk to them in real time. Okay? You're going to be able to have a calendar and be able to mark people off when you want to talk to them, or the coaches will use this. And then you're also going to have a task list. Why is this important? Because as your business gets bigger and bigger, you need to stay organized. Bottom line. Okay? We're going to allow you a really easy way to stay organized. So here's what we call My Day. The My Day is your central hub. So you'll have on the left-hand side your appointments, your tasks. So if you click on appointment, it'll bring up that person's profile without you leaving the page. You can call them up, you can contact them, you can get a hold of them, leave notes, do whatever you need to do with one click of a button. Okay? And the cool thing is the same thing. You never ever have to leave the page. So this is your My Day. You'll always see the tasks that you set for yourself, the appointments you set with these people, and you'll get a summary of everything you need to know right then and there. Okay? And for those of you that are paying for a coach, the coaches are going to be able to leverage this in a big way. Okay?
Yeah.
Here's an example of, I think you have another one that's a calendar. Here's a task list. It shows your incomplete tasks, your completed tasks. Again, it's just a way to organize your day, what you want to do, and it doesn't have to be just with leads. It can be just with hangouts that you're going to do or interactions with your team, chat. The chat system will be built in here, so you can go ahead and add a task for the day and make sure you follow through with that. Okay? The big thing about iPAS, and the reason we have all this, guys, and here's just an example of a calendar. It looks just like Google Calendar, all built in the system in one place. iPAS is one thing. It's the sum of all parts. A lot of systems do certain things really well. And then what do they tell you to do? Well, you got to go over here and buy this tool. You got to go over here and buy that tool. And you have to learn how to use that tool. That really doesn't match what you're doing, but it's the only thing that you can do because that's all that's available. It kind of sucks.
Yep.
You know, and it gets very expensive. And as a successful internet marketer, we know that tracking is critical. If you don't know what's working, you're in the blind. And you're losing money. If you know exactly what's working, throw away the stuff that's not and do more of that. It's the most simplest concept, yet it doesn't exist out there. Unless you have experience and you know how to go get tracking software and place pixels and do all this stuff, you're stuck. So if we're going to grow this big, and I mean big, in the hundreds of thousands of members, we need the sum of all parts. I mean, everything has to be in one place. Click, point, simple. Okay? Nobody's ever done that. I think we're pulling it off.
Yeah.
So let's talk iPAS TV. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay, Lawrence, I love you, brother, by the way. I made a T-shirt for Lawrence for his own TV show, and I couldn't get it printed in time because it was last minute, and he's such a handsome dude anyway. And I was going to wear a shirt that said, "I'm a fan tan." Right? And I was actually going to pull that off on stage in the Power, but how many of you would like to have your own TV show? How many of you would like to see what Lawrence Tam can pull out of his hat next week?
Yeah.
And the week after? Or Aaron Rashkin, perhaps?
Yeah.
Or Tracy Walker?
Yeah.
Or David Wood?
Yeah.
I don't know if we have a rating system for that. I don't know if that's probably rated R. So we're probably going to have a iPAS TV is something that is significant because the last thing I want to do is put a bunch of content in the back office and say, learn all this stuff. Have you guys seen that before in products? Here's a back office full of fluff. You don't even know where to begin. It's like over your head, right? iPAS TV is the fix to that. We have a really great training center. A lot of leaders have pitched in. This will be going live in the next 2 weeks. You're going to see all the appropriate training exactly when somebody needs it. Not too much, not too little. Gets them from A to B to Z in a chronological order to help them succeed. But we still need that user experience. We need personality, right? You all have different personalities, and we want to showcase that. So part of iPAS is just allowing you to have your own iPAS TV show, your own brand. Okay? Yeah. Just like Lawrence and myself and other leaders, we want you to bring your personalities out so people keep going in here to see what you're going to do next. Okay? So we'll help brand you, we'll help showcase you within iPAS Office. So this is an example of what it looks like. Here's Lawrence's show called Engineering Your Success. Okay? It's entertainment, education. Okay? And it's going to bring people together in a way that I think that will rival anything else out there because it's like our own YouTube channel. You log in, you go to your profile page, you upload your show graphics, your summary, and you just start putting in episode after episode. And as soon as you update it, we're going to have a ranking system so you'll be able to see top viewed shows. So, Lawrence, if you're doing a good job, you'll be at the top, and there's going to be other income opportunities for those of you that have really good shows. Okay? So it's just going to edify the user experience. That's what this is. That's the only purpose of it. And we want to edify you guys. We want you to have fun with this. Be creative. We don't want you to go to YouTube and do it. Actually, you do kind of have to go there to get your link. So we are kind of mooching off their stuff. Right? So we're kind of cheating. But you're going to pull it in here. So people don't have to go to your YouTube to see that. Right? So you get to take advantage of all the thousands and tens of thousands of people in iPAS. They get to see you. Okay? And don't worry, it's not a pitch fest. We won't allow people cross-selling, cross-recruiting, any of that. A big stance with iPAS here, you guys, is honesty and integrity. Okay? Yeah. Without that, you got nothing. Honestly.
You got every other company.
Yeah, like a lot of companies. But the biggest thing is we want you guys to know that you're in a safe environment. Your business is safe. Your genealogy with Empower Network is safe here. Okay? Just like we coded in a simple thing, which is so simple, where somebody comes into iPAS through someone else, but they're your member in Empower Network, do you know what happens? What happens?
It goes to you.
It comes right back to you. It's impossible to cross-recruit with this system.
Yeah.
Okay? Impossible. And if somebody's smart, like Chris Record or whatever, and they know how to bypass our logic, which I challenge you, but we won't stand for it, guys, okay? So, this is iPAS TV. We expect this to go up in the next week or two. And those of you that are interested in having your own show, we will have a special page where you can put in a request with the type of show that you want, the brand, the name, and if we select you, we'll go ahead and help you put that show up, okay? Pretty exciting, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So what I want to do now is I want to bring up Chris Record. Are you in here still? Or did he walk away? Oh, there you are. All right, so before I do this, I want to tell a little story or just tell you something about Chris. Chris is the utmost expert when it comes to blogging and WordPress. You guys know what WordPress is?
Yeah.
It's a blogging provider, okay? It's an amazing system. It's where Empower Network's going again, and it's the future of Empower Network. And quite frankly, it's the future of iPAS2. Okay? So Chris is going to show you our strategy and talk about how this is going to help you make a ton of money in iPAS, how it's going to be a customized solution for you, and he's just going to talk about all this technical stuff that's just going to make you a bunch of money. So with that, Chris, if you wouldn't mind coming up.
Yeah.
How's everyone doing? I'm going to get my PowerPoint up there, but hey, I just want to start off just by saying this is fun. This is exciting. Right now, there's so much momentum. Everybody I'm running into in the hallways, everybody that's here right now is so fired up. They're so jazzed about the future. And everybody in this room is real jazzed about iPAS and what they're doing. So if you're excited right now, I just want to hear you make some noise. All right, so I might cover some of my slides just because I don't know how long this is going to take. So what I'll do is, if I'll flip through them real quick. My goal, my purpose for this limited amount of time is to do a couple things. Number one is to give you a sneak peek at some things that we're doing to work with iPAS to create some tools, okay? Number two, give you a little bit of training. And when I say training, I mostly just mean ideas. Right now, everybody in this room should be formulating a plan, should be coming up with a strategy, so that when the time comes, that you're not getting started from scratch. You're getting started, you know exactly what you're going to do, you have it all laid out and everything. So we're going to brainstorm, share some strategies. I'll also share with you a few basic things about the vision of what we're doing. But, that being said, Saturday and Sunday, both Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to be speaking in a lot more detail to the entire audience. That's where I'm going to focus more on showing screenshots, on being very specific with details, stuff like that. So today you're going to get a little bit, but over the course of the weekend you're going to get a lot, especially on Sunday. I think I've got like over 2 hours of PowerPoint slides and training and in-depth stuff that I'm going to be doing for those of you that are there on Sunday. It's just going to be fantastic. So let's just, okay, why don't I just start by, I don't know if everybody here knows who I am or knows anything about my story, so I'll spend a couple minutes and tell you a little bit about that. First of all, most of you know me, you know Chris Jones, right? Well, I'm his personal trainer, I'm his fitness trainer, so, he owes all his success to me. So, anyway, so that's enough about my background. Yeah, they told me, they said, come up here and tell a couple jokes. I said, okay, should I tell them about the farmer and the 3 cows? Who's heard the one about the farmer and the 3 cows? I haven't either. I don't even know if it's good. So that's the only joke I know. So, all right, let me ask you this. Let's get a feel of the room. If you had to consider on a scale, if you're a beginner when it comes to blogging, or intermediate, you know a little bit about it, or you consider yourself kind of an expert. Like you know your way around installing themes and installing plugins and stuff like that. If you're somewhere on the range, either a beginner, intermediate, or expert, let's just kind of go around the room and let's find out where everybody's at. So if you had to choose today only, how many people in this room, raise their hands, would classify themselves as a beginner when it comes to blogging? Okay, so that's probably 40% of the room if I had to guess. How many would say they're not quite a beginner, but they're not quite an expert? They're somewhere in between, a little bit more intermediate, right? So there's another 30% or so. On the other spectrum, how many people here would classify themselves as an expert? You really feel confident about your skills. All right, for those of you with your hands up, if anybody could come up and do the rest of my presentation, I'd appreciate it. Are we good? Do I have to do it down here? All right. Game unplugged. All right, we're good. So, again, a lot of you want the nuts and the bolts, right? Today, that's not the purpose. Today is really to kind of run through some concepts, to run through some ideas to be able to help you out. So, let's see if I can do this real quick. I don't know if it's going to let me. Can't go full screen with it? No? Okay, don't worry about it then. Alright, so let's just go through some basic stuff. So, first of all, flat out, how many people in this room are excited we're moving back to WordPress? Okay. So, are you excited about these custom themes you've been seeing and everything, right?
Yeah.
Is that getting pretty excited? So how about the custom plugins? Did you guys get to see all the plugins we're putting together? This weekend we're going to dive into that. So, I have a surprise that I'm going to share with everybody in this room, and it's not going to leave this room. So one thing that I'm going to share with you today is sort of an iPAS exclusive thing. We're not going to leave the room with it. It's going to be exclusive here. And the reason we're doing this is because this is something we can branch out and continue to do for more teams, continue to do for more niches, for more industries. Take what we have and create multiple versions of it. So we can do it for the real estate industry. We can do it for the finance industry. We can do it for any passionate topic. And iPAS is a great team. It's a great support network for us to begin to develop these sort of white label solutions with. Begin to customize things. Because, first of all, you're all hungry and you want it, right? And secondly is that if we can do it for you, then we prove it. And then we can branch this out. We can take Empower far beyond what anybody's ever seen. We can take it so far beyond when we start reaching into different industries with 1 million people in this industry and 1 million people in that industry. You get pretty excited. So, earlier I said I was going to introduce myself. I'm not Chris Jones' trainer, although I should hire Chris Jones to train me. But for those of you that don't know me, look, without taking too much time up for my story, the basic parts of my story go like this. You know, my dad, growing up, was a computer programmer. He was a hippie who ended up landing a job teaching at a school and somehow ended up getting into the computer industry. You know, a lot of hippies ended up being programmers, right? So that's what he did. When my parents got divorced at a young age, I mostly lived with my mom. But one of the biggest things that my dad really put upon me at a young age, really young, was computers. There was something about computers that didn't frighten me. It didn't scare me. So even when I was young, I remember the whole dial-up sounds. My dad was one of the first people with email because he was a professor at UC Santa Cruz. So I got introduced to that stuff at a young age. I didn't learn it, but it's what I knew. It's what I saw. So later on, when I moved in with my mom, we went through hard times, right? So she was on welfare, Section 8, food stamps, you name it. So that struggle is really what convinced me to be an entrepreneur. I was struggling myself, and I was a bad kid growing up. I don't know if anybody everybody has their own crazy past, right? Well, you know, I ended up in a situation where I went to about 12 high schools just to graduate 9th grade. And then I dropped out in 10th grade. I never went back to high school. I've never had a degree or diploma or whatever it's called. I even get those confused. I don't even know which one's for high school and which one's for college.
Yeah.
One's a degree and one's a diploma. So I never went back. I never took any equivalency. because I figured all it was going to do was help me get a job, and I didn't want a job, so it was worthless. I mean, I never saw the value in it. So I'm not saying that everybody should drop out of school, but I'm saying that's what drove me to be an entrepreneur, because that's what drove me to get into the network marketing industry in general. It's the one industry that didn't ask me for a resume to start. They just accepted me for who I was. They didn't even really ask me about my background. They just let me have a fair shot. So here's this kid who's broke, who gets a fair shot in the industry, and that's what I love about it. If there's one thing I love about this industry, it's that everybody, regardless of where we come from, all have a fair shot. So what happened was I got back kind of to my roots of computers. I got back to my roots of technology. I want to give it a shout out. It just keeps coming unplugged. If it does, I'll get it. I got back to my roots of technology because I knew that growing up, so I got back into it. I got into website design. I got into blogging back in the early to mid 2000s. Here's a crazy thing. So here's this kid who's broke, who's grinding, who's struggling, my dream was to make $10,000 in a single month. To me, that was like, you were rich. You were literally rich if you made $10,000 in a month. And how did I make my first $10,000 month in my life? Blogging. Blogging is where I made my first $10,000. It was something called Google AdSense. And this was back in, I think, 2004. What I did was I was writing all these blog articles, trying to get them ranked in Google. Well, I don't even know if it was Google. It was Google back then, yeah. But there was lots of other search engines. I was trying to get them ranked using something called SEO, search engine optimization. So here I was every day just cranking out tons and tons of articles. I would sit in a chair at my house. I projected my laptop up to the wall, to a blank white wall so I could see it big. And I sat there in a lounge chair and I would blog for like 10 hours straight. Just as many articles as I could write every single day. Because I got a little taste of money. People would click the Google AdSense and I'd get paid. Then they'd click it and I'd get paid. Started off being $300, then $1,000, then $3,000 in a single month. Then something crazy happened. Christmas. And I was blogging about all these different tips to buy Christmas gifts and holiday tips and all these different types of keywords. And Christmas was big and advertisers were paying more for Christmas terms. So my normal $3,000 check jumped to $20,000 in a single month from Google AdSense. That was my first time crossing the $10,000 a month figure, was from blogging and trying to rank the articles in Google. Okay? So it comes full spectrum to several years later that there's a part of me that's passionate about blogging. So when David Wood said, hey Chris, I know there's lots of firms out there that we can hire. You know, I know you don't want a job just designing stuff. But he says, but if there's anybody that I trust with the idea of the vision for the blogging system, it's somebody like you with passion. You know? So as a marketer in Empower, I've made roughly around $500,000 inside of a couple years on the marketing side, and then took a big focus, and now I'm on the back end working with the corporate team. And it's thrilling. It's exciting because I get to see on a daily basis the vision that's coming together here for this company. If you all knew what was coming down the pipe, look, do you think it's a coincidence that someone like Chris Jones invested so much money and so much time into a system that he could have built for any company out there, but he chose to put his foot down and position it to work with Empower? Do you think he knows a little something about the vision that's coming?
Yeah.
Right? So again, this is just, it's just odd how this keeps going in and out. Worst case, I'll just talk. Let me skip through some of this, okay? So we're going to talk about how to make money from blogging. Look, blogging was critical to the growth of Empower. When you look back, okay, hindsight is 2020. Blogging is what took Empower to the next level, right? So we want to get back to that foundational purpose, but this time do it with more ingenuity. We moved away from the focus of blogging. It is as a company, even myself. When ENV2 came out, I kind of just stopped blogging. I would blog on my own sites or something, but it's weird. It's like the culture had shifted. And maybe some of you are hardcore daily bloggers, but definitely something had shifted. People weren't getting rankings as well. But fortunately, Empower has great leaders, and they recognize that. And they made a gutsy decision after spending millions of dollars going one direction, that they were willing to completely go a different direction because it was best for the reps. And I love that. I thought there was no chance. When Dave Wood and I were talking about it, it was like, hey, yeah, I really think we should go back to WordPress. But that means, kind of gutting up a multi-million-dollar investment. And Dave was like, hey man, if it's best for everybody, if it serves people the best, if it's going to help them get better results, what is there to even talk about? Let's do it. How many people know it's millions of dollars? So when you look at the vision here, you got to realize it's a multi-million-dollar sacrifice, a change in direction for the vision. That's one of the things that got me passionate about this, because now we know a lot of things are possible. All right, you gonna help out with that, or is it good? Okay.
How about doing that podium battle with the two of you up there, so two of you together might be able to pull back.
I don't want to break your pinky now, though.
You can do it.
I'm worried about all the cords falling out, so we'll see. All right, listen. I want to keep this thing moving, so I'm going to skip around to a couple slides that are coming up right now. I think it's going to not go to sleep. I want to keep this thing moving. I'm all about being fast. Look, Saturday and Sunday is when I'm going to share all the main details. So today, I want to share things that I won't be sharing. Today, let's get into some exclusives. So, let's go ahead and get started. Who here would be excited if iPAS had its own custom WordPress theme inside of Empower? So listen, I'm going to share with you some of the ideas. Today I'm not going to give anybody concrete things, but I'm going to tell you we've been working on this for the past month, specifically for iPAS, and I'm going to share with you kind of some of the ideas of what we have. But just to put things in perspective, Chris Jones is working directly with me. He's turned over a lot of files so that we can create a matching look, a matching feel, give you things that you're used to with iPAS, but let you blog on Empower Network and let you rank in Google with just tons of cool stuff. You want to hear some ideas? For instance, you're going to have the ability in these new blogs to be able to swap out banners all over, to be able to add iPAS-related banners. And every time that you have good banners in the iPAS community, we created this like drop folder where Chris Jones or whoever, Adam, they can give me banners and that are the right sizes. I can drop them into the plugin for you. And so what you can do is you'll go into the advertising section and you'll be able to literally click on any one of the banners and say, I want that one on the right side and I want it to go to this funnel. I want this one below all my articles and I want it to go to this iPass funnel. I want this one right here, text only, to be inserted right in the middle of my blog posts. I want this one on the right to generate leads for iPass. Stuff like that. We talked about the idea of a lot of you are already set up. You've got your SendGrid account, or not SendGrid, that's what Empower uses. You have your GetResponse account set up. So a lot of you already have a GetResponse account set up to work with the funnels. So what we're doing, you want to talk about how cool it is working with iPass? Here's Adam and I having this conversation about iPass creating a little API so that we can call back that information. What that allows us to do is it allows you from your Empower Network WordPress blog to be able to capture leads in your GetResponse account that you already have set up and be able to have it all go through the exact funnel from your blog post. So all you do is you blog all day, capture leads, push them through the iPass funnel, right? So this is going to be like a custom WordPress plugin is how it's going to look. But don't worry. 40% and something like 30%, so about 70% of this room is either beginner or possibly intermediate. So one of the things that's difficult about WordPress, one of the things that's difficult about blogging is installing a blog, getting hosting, installing themes. Themes break. Things like WordPress wants you to update, so you click update and then it breaks everything, right? Things like, you throw in some code and suddenly there's like a little line of code that's in your blog somewhere and you're going to spend 5 or 6 hours looking for it. And it's breaking everything. It's a frustrating process. And that's why only probably 20% of this room is capable of really running your own custom stuff here. If that. Probably 5%. Because I'm pretty advanced and I break stuff all the time. Okay? So the way the new blogs are structured is it's kind of this idea of this foolproof model, right? So it's this idea where we install the plugins on one main site, and then they automatically just appear for you on your site, and you just click one button, and it all automatically shows up. You don't have to deal with any of the headache, the hard work, any of that. You're just excited about push-click kind
Yeah.
So just imagine, if you will, imagine that. I want to just share with you a vision for where this can go. I don't want to overcommit, because right now, the bottom line is we just want to get blogs. We want to begin the process of getting blogs out to people, getting people using them, having people test them and try to break stuff, and then getting it out to everybody. And then the vision is awesome where we can go. But an example for iPAS specifically would be, because they're putting together their own API, we can begin to do things like every time that they push out content on their side, we can have you be able to feature it on your side. Let me put this in simpler terms. Like, let's say that there was something that was fresh, new, and exciting in all of iPAS. They'd have the ability to push that to you in your back office, and you can press one button and start blogging about it. Instantly spread the word about anything. You could have thousands or hundreds of thousands or however many people you have, instantly, just like that, dominating the internet with any topic that you want that can be pushed through you. That's the kind of integration. We're going to work with them. We're going to work this way. Why? Because Empower Network has come up with a vision that we can do this for numerous industries. iPAS is the example of working with a team or working with a group or a community. We can take this model and we can branch it out. It's so exciting when you think about the future of what we can do. The idea is we can develop custom plugins for iPAS. So let's say that there's something that we hear in the community that everybody's doing, but it's a process that takes like an hour or two. You tell us your frustrations. We have software developers that can create a plugin to take your 2-hour process and get it done in 5 minutes. That's what we want to hear. We want to basically be problem solvers for the community. All right, listen. So we're talking about custom iPAS theme, talking about custom iPAS plugin. Now let's talk about some more integration. iPAS is working very closely with Empower to have bundles. Right? To have a system, a process, a sales process. We don't want to interfere with that sales process because, frankly, it's working and we want to see how well it works and how well it converts. So how cool would it be when they go through that, when they go to that bundle, and it includes a blog, right? They're signing up for Empower, it includes a blog, and it includes the premium theme, this theme that is cool iPAS theme. How cool would it be if that sales page, instead of just showcasing all these other blog themes that we're building for Empower, that sales page inside of iPAS prominently features the iPAS theme. Totally branded, totally looking awesome, prominently features it so that somebody can buy the bundle, instantly have their theme installed for them. When they come through the iPAS funnel, we can recognize they came from there, and we can instantly install the iPAS theme as default for them so that without even thinking about it, within just minutes, they can begin just going out there and spreading word of mouth and growing their business and growing their team. Take all the hard work out of it there as well.
Yeah.
It's a simple vision. It's a simple vision. It might sound complicated, but it's actually quite simple. The simple vision is this. We want the newest person to be able to get a blog installed in just minutes. We want them to be able to start blogging in just minutes. We want them to be able to take away the hard parts of the system, take away the hard parts of the program, take away the hard, frustrating parts that I've gone through. I see hands up. I saw your hands up. How many people here have ever installed their own WordPress blog and gone through all those headaches themselves, right? Look around. Just hold your hands up. Look around. It's frustrating. Let me ask you this. Be honest with me. How many people here have ever broken their blog and it's been like a day or two or longer before you even get it fixed? Your whole entire site's just down. You don't even know what to do, right? In fact, we can just have fun just telling horror stories. A lot of horror stories here. So, I've had so many myself. I installed a blog my first time and I broke it so bad, I spent $2,000 for someone to fix it. By the time they were done fixing it, I had given up blogging. I was just like, I'm over it. Yeah. That was my first Chris Record blog. So, listen, here's what I want to do. I want to go down. Let's do, a couple things, and then I'm going to lead into something that I think is the hottest exclusive thing. But I'm just teasing you because that's the big thing, and I'm going to bring up somebody to actually share that as well with you. Before I do, let's just talk a couple ideas. Okay. I'm an actionable person. So for those of you that are taking notes, here's the main note. Here's the main thing I want you to focus on. You must begin developing your action plan. You must. You've got to get a blogging plan. What do I mean by a blogging plan? I mean specifically, I want you to think about what is your topic that you're going to be blogging about? What is your niche? What is your passion? Right? I want you to be thinking, you don't have to decide today, but I want you to start deciding what you're going to build that's going to go big. And here's the cool thing. Integrated into all of this, we're going to integrate this process called bridge marketing. And I've taught a lot about this before. You might have seen trainings about it. Bridge marketing is this idea of taking somebody over here on one topic, creating a bridge for them to be interested in your product. Okay? In this specific example, let's say iPAS is your opportunity that you'd like to promote. If you just go out there on Facebook and, build a fan page that says, this is my big famous iPAS fan page or whatever, and tell people, hey, like it and join me there. It's difficult. It's all this miscellaneous branding everywhere. That strategy doesn't really work. Okay? And after a while, people just think it sounds kind of schemy and scammy. In fact, I'm going to tell you right now, some people should be slapped for some of their marketing. Okay? Because I've run a couple of Facebook groups, and there's a ton of spam even coming from iPAS members. Just auto blast posting stuff in there. That stuff doesn't work. Okay? Blogging, video marketing, this kind of stuff works if you do it right. So, your plan might be to get people to join iPAS. That doesn't mean that you have to constantly lead with iPAS. If you constantly lead with iPAS, that means that you can do it sometimes, but if you constantly lead with iPAS, you're just bombarding somebody with the same message over and over and over again. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. Right now, there's a World Series in baseball going on, right here in the United States. Between two teams, right? Kansas City Royals, San Francisco Giants. How many people here are rooting for the Kansas City Royals? Okay, the door's back there for you guys. All right. The rest of you, on the other hand, can join the bandwagon. No, but my point being is that either you're passionate about sports or you know somebody that's passionate about sports. Would you agree? Yep. It's like everybody's passionate about something. So literally, I might be passionate about Giants or surfing or whatever it might, or muscle cars or whatever it might be. There's things people are passionate about something. Chris Jones, for instance, right? He's passionate about bodybuilding. He's been doing it for years and years and years. That's a passion. There's a lot of times he will not even sacrifice that. He'll make room for it. He's so passionate. So I can literally get to Chris Jones two ways. One, through directly trying to pitch in my opportunity. Or two, through attracting him through his passions. I could be blogging about health and fitness and bodybuilding. If that's my passion, I could be blogging about what I love every single day. Suddenly, it's not work, it's fun. Work is a 4-letter word, and nobody likes 4-letter words except David Wood, right? So, we want to make this fun. The new Empower Nerds bringing in the 3-letter words, which there's actually quite a few bad ones there too. But fun. If you look, when you wake up in the morning and you get to live in your passion every single day, it doesn't even matter how much money you make at that point. Money's bonus. That's gravy, right? How would you like to wake up every day and live life on your terms for your passion? Okay? That's what you get to do here. So listen, what you do is you focus on bridge marketing. You think, how is it that a San Francisco Giants fan might be interested in blogging? Well, guess what? Let's just run this through. Cash in on your passion. Cash in on your passion. Does anybody in here like golf? Any golfers in here? Just curious? Handful, 5, 10, whatever. How would you like to learn how you could get paid to golf? How would you like to learn an idea for how you could get free equipment? How would you like to learn how to have golf courses paying your way to go play on their course? Why? How? You review the course afterwards. I can set you up with a business in a box where you can literally blog about golf, make videos about golf, do golf course reviews, do equipment reviews, anything. Blog about your favorite players, blog about the tournament. Instead of watching the Masters on your couch, instead of watching the Masters tournament, blog about it. Get paid to be lazy. Okay? So, listen, cash in on your passion. How many people in here, let's think, how many people in here like, wrestling? Anybody like professional wrestling? UFC? How about UFC?
Yeah.
How about, let's go off topic. Like, how about things like cooking? Anybody here love cooking? Anybody here have great recipes that are just awesome that they love to share? How would you like to get paid to blog about cooking?
Yeah.
Passion on your passion. How many out there that get attracted into your blog would love to be able to pay a small fee and instantly have their own blog set up where they can cash in on their passion. Do you see what I'm saying? It's infinite potential. And this is one of the powerful things that we can help bring to market. It's called bridge marketing. It's the ability for you to blog about what you're passionate about, get ranked for those terms, and we're going to teach you SEO. We're going to teach you long-tail keyword marketing. We're going to teach you how to do these things. And when you get ranked for those, you don't get ranked once. It's not like buying a solo ad where you pay money, they email the list, and you get a result, and that's that. Blogging is residual. It's residual. How would you like to still be getting traffic, leads, and sales 5 years from now? From something you did today. Right? That's true residual. Go talk to bloggers. Go talk to bloggers. If you don't believe me, go look at a blog that somebody's been blogging 5 years, that's still blogging online, and ask them, hey, I'm just curious. Do you still get traffic to all those articles you wrote 5 years ago? Do you still get leads from all those for 5 years ago? Do you still make money on random little affiliate offers from 5 years ago? Yeah. I remember one article I wrote on a company called Aweber, which is an email service. I was an affiliate. I wrote a little article about Aweber, and it only paid like $5 commissions or something, so I didn't really care much about it. That article, still around, still generates me sales every month. And it doesn't seem like a lot, little $5 sales. But my Aweber check is over $1,000 a month. From stuff that I did, I don't even know when I did it. I forgot about it. I think there was a few months where I forgot about the hosting. I didn't even pay the hosting bill. Because I forgot it existed. It's like I'm making more in profit than the hosting bill is. I just forgot about it. That's the power of what we can do here. So, there's ours and everything. Raise your hand if you've kind of been leaked the information, know a little bit about the 21-day blogging challenge.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a lot, right? This is how I'm going to end my talk and transition to the next speaker. This is something that's going to revolutionize, literally revolutionize, completely revolutionize this business. No matter what, people get excited and go, oh, Chris Record, I'm so excited we're going to WordPress. I'm so excited about these themes. I'm excited we're going to be ranking again. Listen, even this custom iPAS themes, it all pales in comparison to the 21-day blogging challenge. Now, here's why. If there's one thing that you need to have critical mass and gain critical mass and momentum in any business, I don't care which business it is, go look at any network marketing company, go look at any organization, go look at any political group, doesn't matter. When you get to critical mass, there's one thing that you need. Simple and easy duplication. There has to be something that a brand new person can do to get started and immediately have an action plan without having to learn a bunch of new stuff. Okay? Learning curves get in the way of everything. So yes, we're rolling out with some advanced themes. Yes, for those of you that want the flexibility, for those of you that want all those features you've been missing, yes, you're going to get them. But that's only about 20% of the room. And if that's 20% of this room in here, this room's probably more advanced than your average person out there. Would you agree? So that means they're probably looking at 95% of the population that probably would consider themselves a beginner if they were to raise their hand. We need a solution for them. Okay? We've got a couple solutions. You've heard me talk about some of them, but the one that is going to make the biggest difference completely is the 21-day blogging challenge. Now, I don't want to steal the whole thunder, so I'll just frame it. And we're going to walk you through some stuff. And then this weekend, on Saturday and Sunday, we're going to cover it again. Saturday, we're going to cover a little bit. Sunday is like our in-depth blogging and SEO day. So without stealing it all, the 21-day blogging challenge, the essential concept behind it is this idea that somebody can get started day one and they don't have to even think about what to do. We're presenting them with every single day with a basic assignment that's super simple. They literally just fill out a form. It's like a survey. They press a button and automatically it appears on their blog. SEO optimized, ready to go. We'd like to share with you a little bit more about this. And based on time, I know we've got David Wood in the room and a few others. Based on time, if time permits, we'll consider doing some Q&A with everybody afterwards. I don't know what time's going to be like. So here's what I want you to do. In the corporate team, someone very, very behind the scenes that you don't know a lot about, but is an expert blogger, Michelle, I'm going to bring her up right now. She has been behind the scenes pioneering a new plugin that is going to literally create a massive wave across the entire industry. When you know that even your grandma can get started and fill out a couple questions every day, you know you're in something that can explode and get critical mass. Would you agree? Raise your hands if you agree with that, right? So why don't we do this? I'm so excited about it. And to get a little energy pumping, why don't we give Michelle a standing ovation when we bring her up right now, right? Let's make some noise for her.
The super secret slides are coming in a minute. Okay, I am really excited to be here. How many of you are excited about the way that iPAS has revolutionized your online marketing?
Yeah.
Amazing things, right? We've got kick-ass training in there. That's what we're doing for blogging with the 21-day challenge plugin. The 21-day blogging challenge is, like Chris said, designed to make it so easy. There's a four-letter word that's not bad, right? Easy, that anybody can do this. Nobody has to be techie. You don't even have to know how to write a blog post, how to format it, none of that, and I'll show you why in a minute. Our goal with it is to break through all the challenges that keep you from blogging passionately and profitably. And I'm going to tell you how it's going to help you easily make more money with iPAS. Does that sound good? Yeah. Okay. You know, before I came on stage, Mars told me to get up here and tell you how surprised we were at the reaction we got as we shared this. And Mars was surprised, but I wasn't. And people have been really excited, but here's why I wasn't surprised. I started blogging in 2008. I spent the first year and a half completely failing. I mean, my blog posts were terrible. I didn't know how to write. They were boring. I didn't know what to write about. The formatting came out all funky every time I tried to make them look good. It was a pain. It took me a while to figure out what to do. And I've been coaching bloggers for the last several years. I've run through blog challenges with over 10,000 bloggers, and so I know where they get stuck. I know what's stopping them, and this plugin fixes it. It gives you everything you need. So I knew as we were designing this that we were solving the right problems. This is a preview of the main screen here. You can see the goal is to get blogging, get others blogging, and get paid. It's a really awesome thing about this plugin. I know you guys, some of you are techie. You figured out iPads, you know some of the online marketing stuff, but when you bring new people onto your team, they don't know where to start, right? And you're trying to explain blogging to them while you're still trying to figure it out. We've made that so simple with this plugin. So I'm going to show you just a couple of things. The way this works, like Chris said, is that we give you easy-to-use blog post templates. How many of you, if I ask you a question, can answer me?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Have you ever played Mad Libs? You fill in the noun, adjective. If you can do that, you can create an amazing blog post with this plugin. And I can't show you all of these. Let me see here. Skip over that for now. Here's basically what you see when you log in. There's a button you click. You click the button, it opens up something like this. All you have to do is read the question, answer the question. You don't have to figure out what your title is. You don't have to figure out what your formatting is on the post or anything. It builds the post for you based on these questions that you answer. And as you fill them in, each field appears. It's very simple, very easy to do, and it's SEO optimized. It's ready to go. Here's the really cool part. One of the things that bloggers struggle with most is not just writing your content, but figuring out how do you write about what you're passionate about, whether it's golf or sports or anything else, and how do you get people to buy from you based on that? How do you segue into selling? We've made it so simple that you've got a question to answer, and then you choose from a drop-down. What funnel do you want to promote? We're going to customize this for iPAS so that you can put people directly into your iPAS funnels from your blog posts, and all you got to do is click a button. I'll show you a little preview here of what some of these call to actions look like. So I've got to skip a few of these slides for time. But we've built these out for you. We've had professional designers put them together. They're designed to convert, to get people to click, and get them into your iPAS funnel, which you know what happens once you get people in your iPAS funnels, right? Okay, this is how you get them in. We've got these ready to go for you. We're customizing more of them for iPAS. But what we've done is just made it so easy. There's 7 different templates that are built in. It cycles through them for the 21 days. You answer questions about videos, about your life story, about things you'd like to review, and we're customizing that for iPAS as well to help you write posts that sell the benefits of iPAS, to sell why this training is so great, why it's revolutionizing your business, and makes it really easy for you and your team to get blogging consistently. How many people in this room right now are blogging every day? How many of you know that if you could blog every day and it didn't take you hours, that you would be able to fill your funnels with leads? Right? That's why we designed this plugin. With this plugin, in 10 to 15 minutes, no joke, you can have a nice looking formatted post on your blog that's got the right call to action, that's designed to convert people and get them into your funnels. So we're really, really excited. I can't wait to roll this out and to let you guys into it and start testing. It's going to be amazing, not just for you, but for your team as well. It's something that, my kids can do. My 10-year-old has actually played with it. She wrote a great blog post about Barbie dolls, actually. It was really easy, and if she can do it, I know we can do it. So it's going to be very, very, very exciting to share this. And I don't want to take up too much time, so I'll stop there. But we just wanted to kind of give you guys a sneak peek of how it's going to work, why it's going to be just the most amazing thing for you and your teams. 10 minutes a day, you can have a blog post that's attracting traffic. Like Chris said, the search engines are going to love it. Gets them into your funnel, converts them, gets them onto your team. So I will stop with that. I'm going to be sharing a whole lot more both tomorrow and then Sunday. I'm going to go really deep into exactly how it works and why it works, so that you'll understand how to sell this to prospects when you're talking about them, to people on your team, to get them all blogging, because you know the power of blogging. It's just those things that kind of get in our way, the fact that it takes so long and we're not sure what to write about. All of that is solved with this plugin. So I'm very excited to bring this to you. What
do you think about that? Awesome. All right, now I'm going to bring up the guest speaker. Some of you may know him, some of you may not. Mr. Wood himself. I have to tell you that this is the guy. We have to ask David Wood one question. Do you have a black card, David?
Huh?
Do you have a black card?
I forgot to order it. That's fine.
Well, here you go. It's actually a funny joke. Go ahead, you can open it. You can open it.
Oh, no.
It doesn't have it in it.
Doesn't have it in it.
That, oh, it does.
There we go. I wanted to bring Dave in here, and when we were in Denver, we were talking about, hey, it would be really great to talk together and share the vision of where they're going and our vision with iPAS and collaborate our ideas of where we're going together. Even though we're two separate companies, I'm affiliate, he's just some guy, okay? A little wacky. But no, he's got the vision. He's the reason why we decided to build this platform. As I mentioned to you before, it is his vision. It is his company that didn't look good on paper a few years ago. It was his company and his ideas that stuck with us and said, you know what? I don't want a company that starts with a D. I don't want that company to build iPAS around. I don't want something that's popular because I don't care about popularity contests. I want a company that's broken records, that chooses to do something that's never done before, despite what other people say.
That I don't have that shirt, there was a shirt that he made that I can't mention, I don't think. But I'll just say it since he's not allowed to. It was I passed on Doobly. Who's a fan of 10? Anyways, I'm interrupting. Sorry.
No. So what I just want to do, David, is I just want to get your opinion on what you think of iPAS and where do you see Empower Network going, with our collaborations together and, the new blogging system. And what are your visions? What do you see?
Yeah. I'll talk about that for a second because I appreciate you guys. iPAS is the only symbiotic system that we've ever had in Empower Network. We've had a lot of leeches, but we've had a lot of beneficial systems with teams. Like when Vic launched Big ID Mastermind, it did bring a lot of people into Empower, and also was beneficial to Vic. It was symbiotic, but Big ID Mastermind was only for his organization, right? We also didn't have any sort of agreements with them. So with iPAS, they've helped Empower Network, and we help iPAS. It's a symbiotic. What I appreciate most about it is that they actually work with us the whole time, and they're honest with us. He came to me almost 2 years.
3 years ago.
Yeah, and started talking to me about, hey, here's my vision, here's what I want to do. I want to make sure that we're connected on it. And kept us in the loop the whole time. When we came out with our accreditation program, the purpose of that was to get rid of the leeches. Because we've had some systems in Empower that are built by people that never sell anything. You know what I mean? It's like, let me show you how to succeed by giving me $47 a month, and then you give them $47 a month, and you're like, how much did you make in Empower Network? And they're like, pay me $47 a month. And so then the system owners get the system and then run around selling it to everybody else in Empower Network, and nobody ever makes more Empower Network sales for the system. That's been the majority of things that have come up. And there's also some legal problems with supporting third-party systems like that, where we become liable for claims that are made by other people, right? A lot of people don't realize that. Like if somebody's out there, making income claims without income disclosures and stuff like that, right? All the liability for that stuff really just ends up falling on me. And I actually don't make any money from the Empower Network company. I never have, right? I've made less than a regular affiliate, so I constantly put my money back into it. So I get all the liability, but it's not like people are paying me for it, right? And so we came out with the accreditation system to make sure that people are really in alignment with our vision. He has an agreement with us to not pitch other opportunities to the data that's acquired through Empower Network, right? So there's actually legal agreements between us to protect everybody's downlines. And he actually took the time to go through that. And actually, when you guys went through it, I said, who has gone through our accreditation? So I thought he was the only one. And the answer was John and Rose, right, for his own personal marketing, Alan Cousins, and iPAS. And those are the only people that had bothered up to that point. And so I appreciate him taking the time to actually go through that to make sure that what he's doing is legit, and also make sure that he can support your businesses and help you guys grow. So he's really been beneficial. Give him a hand. What I see with this is when, and let me talk about it from, if I was a regular affiliate, how I would be using iPAS. Because I wouldn't use it. That's just how I am. I mean, I'm in it because, the reason I joined it is because he was like, we made it so people can't cross for a group. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he says, well, somebody sells iPAS to somebody else. And basically, we connect to the genealogies through the API. So if somebody else sells to a whole bunch of somebody's team members, and then that person joins, all the commissions get rerouted back to the leader. And I was like, you're shitting me. So I joined, and I have like 100 people in there. And I was like, I just screwed up the income stream.
He actually broke the system within 3 minutes.
Yeah, I broke it.
It cost us an extra $500 a month to support your organization. True story.
No, so in the commission pages, it's still reporting my commissions properly, by the way. But we'll talk about that. I broke that one. But
it's their API anyway.
No, what I like about iPAS, though, is iPAS really is there to support the core message of the Empower Network. And he's made commitments to me that he's going to, stay consistent with the vision and support you guys in building your dreams. And I'm a fan of anything that gives you guys resources that you need to really reach the success that you want, and to do it in the fastest way possible. So what I see with where we're going with iPAS, over the last year, really since we launched EN version 2, I've been wanting to go back to the core message of Empower. That's what I've been wanting to do. because we sort of had to take a little bit of a course. We had to go through a whole bunch of corrections after we launched that product, because we realized that a majority of the growth and success that we've had in the Power Network was really due to the blogging platform that we had. Now, we've talked a lot to leaders about that, but it's true. Literally, most of the signups in the history of the Power Network, most of the people that have come in, came in from the blogs. That's where the majority of them came in from. We were getting 3 million unique visitors a month just to blog posts. We're not talking people going to the commission loophole page or people going to the almost a secret page. Now, funny enough, most of our actual traffic came from paid advertising, but all of our converting traffic came from blog posts.
Wow.
Really been responsible for a majority of the success that we've had in Power Network, and ENV2 fucked with that, right? And so, that's just being honest, right? It was a great idea that was put into the hands of the wrong team, and I didn't have very good advisors on that. The advisors that we had wanting to spend tons of money and run a company like Microsoft, right? They weren't direct marketers. And that's one of the reasons why, in fact, one of the main reasons why we're working with Chris Record is because he's got a unique combination of minds where he's made $500,000 in the Power Network, so he understands being a rep, he understands building teams, but he's also been the technology director for really large companies, right, publicly traded companies, and he's been blogging since, like the last 10 or 12 years. He's been doing SEO that entire period of time. So he understands the power, he understands our API, he understands technology teams, he understands what really made the blogging platform great. In fact, he was signing up on our blogging platform from blog posts 100 people a month on Power version 1 from blogging, right? From blogging. And so this is what I want to kind of convey to you guys with the launch of our new platform, because we're going to be talking about the rollout plans this weekend and how we bring that to the marketplace. This is really what this is going to do that we haven't had really for about a year, is this is going to give us solid, sustainable growth that has the ability to gain momentum over the course of the next couple of months. That's what blogging kind of will do, all right? And here's what I want to really paint out that it's going to do for you as affiliates. It's doing this for you the whole time, but not really a lot of people were aware that this was going on. It was just something that was happening. Like, for example, Lawrence was like, man, I used to sign up 2 people a day, and I didn't even know where they came from. And I've had so many leaders tell me stuff like that, where it's like, yeah, just like wake up, and there's like 2 signups there. You know what I mean? And they really didn't know how they were getting those signups. Like, is it from paid ads? Is it from emailing my list? Did somebody click on a link on Facebook? People think it's stuff like that. Well, here's what it actually was. See, in a Power Network, the way that it works, and I really want you guys to get this because it's going to motivate you to blog a lot more if you understand it. Even if you're bringing in most of your people through paid ads, it will motivate you. Okay? So if you look at a Power Network, this is the way that it works. Right? We have you here. Now, I'm not going to draw anything like a pyramid. This is more like a triangle. Right? When you blog, right, obviously all the blog posts are going to be coded to you. You're going to put your own advertising to control your advertising space. We have a lot more customization on this platform, things that you can do. But you should blog because it's going to help build your brand. However, when you refer customers in who are using the blogging platform, some of them are going to stay active and some of them are going to quit. Right? Why? Because that's the way that it is. It's the way that it is. Now, when somebody quits in a Power Network, here's what happens, right? Their blog stays there, right? So the blog just kind of stays there. All their posts stay there, right? But they're inactive, right? So what happens with the traffic that comes from that? When people opt in and when people buy stuff, it codes up to the next active affiliate, right? So I want you to think about it like this. So I have a blog, right, that I've had for about almost going on 6 years or something, 5 years, right? That blog, I have less than 1,000 posts on that blog, right? That I've managed to do 700, 800 blog posts on that blog over the course of the last. It's taken me forever, and most of them now have been paid for by an article writer who sounds a lot like me because, I got to a space where I just want to pay somebody to do a majority of it, right? Now, that took me 5 years to create that. Now, I haven't touched it really in 2 2 years, right? But this blog still today generates for me 1,000 to 1,500 leads every single month without doing anything at all, right? Why? Because the amount of content that I have, because the amount of links that are going into it, because of the people searching for me, and because of the way that I kind of have it automatically promoted. I don't touch it. I still, from this blog post, sign up today about 60 people a month and do Empower Network without doing anything. Okay? From a blog I haven't touched in 2 years. Truthfully, the reason I haven't touched it is because people criticize me for having my own blog that's not hosted on our platform. Right? That's the only reason. Otherwise, I'd be blogging on it because I actually enjoy it. But that's the only reason I don't talk about it that much is because of that. Or I'm going to move it to our platform. But in any case, all right, so here's what I want you to think about. That took me 5 years and a lot of money to pay for this blog post, right? So how long does that take to recreate using the system that we built in Empower Network? Well, everyone you refer into Empower Network, right, let's say you can get 80% of them to go through that challenge, which is not that hard to do. The reason it's not hard to do is because it's fucking easy to do the challenge, and you just tell people, if you don't do it, you're an idiot, right? And then they'll do it, right? But in any case, let's say 80% of the people do the blogging challenge, and you bring in 100 people or something like that, right? So you take 80 of them, times 21 blog posts. I can't do math that fast, but we got 80 with, what, 160, right? I'm not doing this right. But in any case, so we got like 240 posts, right, that we created for bringing in 100 people, right? Way more? I messed that up? 200, 2,400 or something? See, I failed everything. 1,600 folks, right? See, I can't even do math, right? And I still have success with this, right? Now, in any case, right? Now, what's our retention rate really at Empower Network? It's like everything else is. We're going to lose about 70% of the people that come in, right? Why? Because people are evil. They right? But in any case, right? So we now have, I'll add to this, I can't do math. We have, like over this, and if we lose 70% of them, what do you have? You have a blog with about 800 posts from bringing in 100 people that's generating traffic, like my blog that took me 5 years to build without doing anything. And they paid you for it.
Woo! Yeah!
So with Empower Network, it's exciting when people quit, as long as they've done something. Just say, hey, just stick it for 2 more weeks and write a blog post every day. So what happens is what happens? Well, blogs are something that they give you a sort of stickiness in the marketplace, right? And so it takes a little bit for people's blogs to get traction, right? And not everybody is patient enough to have them get the traction. Now, we're going to put things in place, mechanisms, training, we're going to put plugins in place to help people get traffic faster. The organic traffic takes a little bit to build. That's why it's going to take us 90 days or so to regain momentum with content, just because it's how long it takes, right? But the cool thing is, right, is once it sticks, it kind of sticks. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got your team, and there's like, you know, they're putting flyers all over town, and police come and try to remove them, and they can't remove them, right? The flyers will just permanently stick there on the wall, you know? People try to put something over it, and the thing you put over it just burns, you know? They can't remove it all. That's kind of what blogging does, right? But then, if they quit before it takes off, or they quit before they get traction, or they quit because they're a quitter, or they quit because they like to whine about things, just you inherit basically all their traffic and sales, right? So that's why Empower Network people always were signing people up, and they had no clue where they were coming from. Who in here, you go back to EMV1, who in here had a whole bunch of signups if you're a leader that was around then? And truthfully, you just don't know where the heck they came from. Like, truthfully. Like, there's not going to be a ton of you. There'll be a bunch of you. Yeah, just signing people up left and right. I don't know where they came from. Some of you are like, yeah, I know. Bill Lawrence thought it was from all this paid traffic, and I was looking at his paid traffic, and you know, he's good at paid traffic, actually. Now he's getting a lot of signups in iPAS with paid traffic and stuff, right? Because he's being really specific and targeted. But his paid traffic signups, right? Paid traffic signups, they're staying on the page for like 1 second, right? They were like going to the almost a secret page, and it was like from these click broker stupid pieces of crap that are out there that just take ad fly traffic and resell it at a markup, you know what I mean, to make a commission. And so they're staying on the page for like 1 second, right? But he had 1,500 1,500 people a month clicking through the commission loophole page from organic search. 1,500 a month. And he didn't even know he had it. Rashkin had never done SEO, right? And he's like, SEO? I don't do that. He had 1,500 people a month clicking through the commission loophole page from blogging. How? Not his posts. Right? This is how, right? So that's how you can have stickiness in your marketing. Because here's the problem that everybody runs into in the biz ops space. I've been talking about this for the last couple of days. I'm going to go back to iPAS when I say. The problem everybody has is market size, market limitations, right? The market's like this big. And really, it might be bigger than we think, but it's really not that big. There's a limited amount of people that buy stuff all the time in the biz ops space. And they buy everything. They join iPads, they join Empower Network, they buy MLSP, they join the hottest thing of the month, they buy everything, right? And what happens is a new product, a new market comes into the biz ops space, and it takes off and explodes. And everybody's like, look how fast this is. It's the hottest thing ever. It's going to be $1 billion deal. I've never seen duplication like this in my life. But really what they're doing is they're raiding everybody in the biz ops space and taking everybody into the new deal that's hot, right? And that lasts about 60 to 90 days, right? And then what happens after that happens? It goes like this, it goes like this, and then everybody says, I'm in the hot new deal, I found the hottest thing ever. And then again, they all raid the same people, raiding everybody's organizations and team in the same space, and then what happens after that? It goes, wow. You know what I mean? It's like a boner that goes up and just comes right back down.
I get to be on stage with this guy.
Constantly leaving the woman dissatisfied, you know. But I just love saying shit like that. So in any case, what happens is that people have to jump to a new deal to sustain their income, right? And that's why a traditional MLM, they have you make a list and call your friends and family, because there's a limited amount of people in our specific target market of people that are looking for this stuff and want to buy it and have their credit card in hand. Right? Those people are hot buyers, they buy a rabid, but then the market fills up. So everybody has to go jump, right? Well, what blogging gives us the ability to do is to do bridge marketing into every market. And I mean everything, right? Because with blogging, with content, what you can do is you can literally reach into every market segment in a way that's sticky. Most of the signups in Power Network's history came from the weirdest markets ever. Like markets that aren't really markets, right? They're things like, you know, you look at the old posts, it's things like Jennifer Lopez's boobs, you know? People aren't supposed to, I don't think, do that on our platform. I don't know what the rules are. I don't really care, truthfully. But I clicked on the post, I'll be honest with you. Right, but then they have things in like, there was somebody that had something on some weird disease in your body, right? And they're like, you know, how I deal with like having this disease. And that thing got 60,000 organic search clicks in 30 days, right? And a huge amount of signups into Empower Networks. The person was like, you know, I can't really get out of bed, but I just like sit here in my bed blogging and make money. Click here, and all the people with this poor disease click there and pull out their credit card, right? The point is that it allows you to expand your market outside this very narrow group of people. I think it was Lisa Allen the other day that was on the live stream with us, and she just had her biggest week ever. She just made $5 grand in a week, right? Which for most of us is like, hey. Now after you do that for a while, you can't eat with that, you know? It's like I can't afford my food bill anymore off $5 grand a week. But the first time you do it, you're like, holy shit, what just happened? Well, here's what happened. She wrote a blog post 60 days ago, right? I want you guys to think about this here. 60 days ago, she wrote a blog post. 60 days about someone, I think, the leader in the industry, right? 60 days. Then somebody was looking for that leader in the industry with a positive review on them, right? They clicked on her blog that she wrote 60 days before. They joined. They got all in. And then, within a week, they got somebody the same week to join and go all in. Right? So from a blog post, one thing that she wrote, 60 days later, she makes over $5,000 from a single blog post that she wrote. What's the power of having an army of people do it?
Yeah.
Kevin Sowski found his brother, long-lost brother, through the blog, right? And I'm going to probably butcher the story so you could ask him. It's a great video to get. How do you do it? Well, he didn't know he had a long-lost brother. He was writing an article missing his dad, right? Missing your father. You want to come tell that story real quick? Hold on, I'll come down and I'll get him to tell the story in case you guys haven't heard it. Yeah, just you got back from it. Just listen to the story.
At the end of 2012, I wrote a blog post about how I miss my parents, both deceased. So I'm one of 5 children. The first 2, my sister and I, came from a different dad, who died when he was 32. He burned to death. He was an alcoholic. My mother had divorced him already, but remarried. Had 3 more kids. There were 5 of us. Never saw a photo of my real father, ever. Didn't know who he was. I was 3, he was 32. And 4 months later, 120 days later, I got a Facebook message. Kevin, you don't know me, but I'm 99.9% sure that my father and you were brothers. And I'm like, yeah, right. Where was my father buried? Sacred Heart Cemetery, Mount Pleasant Street, New Bedford, Massachusetts. My heart hit the floor. After 50 years, a brother I never knew existed found me because of my Empower Network blog.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing. It's kind of like how a normal network marketing company has you do warm market, because somebody finds content you write, as long as it's valuable, people kind of have a natural trust for you by the time they're done reading the blog post, and you have a call to action there. Right? Because you're giving them content, they spend like 3 minutes reading it, and by the time they're down to the call to action, they're like somebody that's warmed up to you a little bit rather than somebody that's cold. They buy like 10 times more stuff. I've always had like 15 to 25% conversions on the front end from my blog links, always. Right? Now you can't get those from paid ads. You can't. Right? You can't get conversions like that. You can from blogging. Right? And this is the reason. You find people, they find something, they warm up to you. By the time they get to the call to action, they're ready to buy. But imagine the power of a large group of people doing that. It allows us to stretch into other markets, but here's the thing. It's like without hawking anything to anybody. You don't even have to hassle grandma. You get grandmas to join the blog post. You know what I mean? Yeah, seriously. We have the power to expand into other markets in a way that's sticky. You know what I mean? And that's really the power of what we do. So I want you guys to really get excited about that, because that's what's going to allow iPAS to get bigger in the biz-off market, because you guys are running the same issue, right? Market limitation. He's talking about that, because I know you guys got plans on going offline and other secret things that they're planning on going outside of the narrow biz-off market because it runs out, right? This is the way of doing it on the internet. So get excited about it. And the big mistake that we made last time in the Power Network was we had this amazing thing that worked really well and never told anybody how to do it, right? I mean, where was the training on how to blog? We had to handle it. Yeah, it was like, just go do it. You know what I mean? What are you talking about? Don't be a wussy. If you want to learn how to do it, go read the Warrior Forum and just figure it out. You know what I mean? Don't ask me stupid questions. Right? Still work. Still work, yeah. Just telling people to do it. Well, we didn't have a simple way of doing it. Now imagine this. Who in here could do that 21-day blogging challenge you just saw?
Yeah.
Well, because you can do it, you will do it. And if you get your team doing it, the goal is, if you get a team member, this is what I really want you to think about, they do the 21-day blogging challenge, right? It doesn't matter if they quit or not. They probably won't quit if they complete it, because they've created enough content they're going to want to stick, right? But if they do quit, they've created enough content to replace themselves.
Woo! Yeah.
Woo! So that's the power of what we do. And what I really see in this is I just want you guys to be able to make as much money as possible, right? When we were doing the blog platform, I flew Chris Jones out to Denver. The reason is because I said, hey, I know you guys got a lot of users, so why don't we just make a custom theme for you guys to kind of make the integration between iPAS and Power a little bit easier, right? Who in here thinks that'll be easier, right?
Yeah.
It'll be easier to transition, easier and faster to sell people into Empower from iPAS, and also vice versa. You know what I mean? Because and this is just the way I market and sell, I'm a little bit different. But if I was an affiliate, I was a regular affiliate, what I would do is I'd just sell both, and just if one joined one, I'd get them into the other one. If they joined this one, I'd get them into the other one, right? That's what I do, right? It's just more money. I don't get more money, you know? That's how I market it, right? Somebody comes in to Empower, I'd say, now you need to buy this, right? And then if they bought that, I'd say, first I'd say, hey, now you need to buy this over here. Right? That's more money. It's an easier way to do it. Right? But if you guys think about where we are, here's what I'm most excited about, is we've had this great purging in the Power Network over the last 12 months, where we've gotten rid of almost everybody negative. And there's only a few of them left. You know, I was telling Chris, I mean, all we need to do is separate out the rest of the chaff and light it on fire, and we're good. You know, trying to be more like Jesus. But he always likes my Jesus references, you know. It's his beautiful blue eyes, isn't it? They're gorgeous. Look at that face, it's so cute. Long-standing joke that you guys probably don't get at all, which is why you're not laughing at all. But in any case, I really see this as being a mutual beneficial thing. Chris came and spent $500,000 of his own money to build a platform to help people to make more money, okay? And I'm proud of him for sticking with that, and that's why I've supported him for the whole time I'm doing it, is because he's gone the extra mile to make sure that it's helpful, right? And our message is synchronized. I mean, they're only focused on the core products of Empower, and actually, one of the things you guys will see this week, I don't want to ruin anything, but we're going to be getting rid of all of our products, but our core products. They'll still be there for people of you who bought them, but the reality is that we want people focused on one thing that's simple, that easy to understand, and to make those products world-class, to make sure that what you bring to the marketplace is understandable, it's simple, it's duplicatable, and it can build big, it can build fast. Because I'll tell you, the secret strategy here of getting to $100,000 a month. See our income disclosure in Empower. I always change my voice to see our income disclosure. You know, I like doing that better. But in any case, I'll tell you the secret strategy. Who here would like to know the fastest way?
Woo! Yeah.
Right? Well, this is how to do it, right? And the simplest way that you guys that I can describe is like this, right? Is what you do is bring as many people in as you can. Oh, higher. Okay. I'll just draw over the existing stuff. Okay? You bring in as many people as you possibly can until you bring in one black member a day. That's it. 100,000 a month.
Yeah.
They don't have to do that. They can use a coach for that.
Huh?
They can use their coach for that.
They could use their coach for that. Yeah. You bring in one person a day. I mean, who gets all in, right? Because we have 70% commissions, right? But and this is actually because of this guy, right? Because he requested it. For the first 7 days when somebody gets in, right? If they get in the all-in package for $3,995, we pay a flat commission of $3,000. There's no processing fees on that, okay, except for there's the holdback. That's a flat commission, $3,000 exactly. So
Amen to that.
If you bring in one of those a day, right, without anybody duplicating or doing anything, okay, that's close to $100,000 a month. Okay? And I'm telling you guys, if you guys get good, hey, Chris Rushler, you stand up real quick and just scream it. How many members do you need to bring in to get one person to go all in? How many? 5. Right? So for him to do it, right, with no duplication, he just needs 5 members a day to come in. That's really not a lot once you start having a little bit of a budget. If you make $3,000 a day, it's not hard to get 5 members a day. It's a little work to get there, but it's not really that hard. So he needs to bring in 5 people to get one all in. But the blogging platform, what it's really going to do is it's going to really restore duplication to our organization. In addition to that, we have a mobile app that we're launching as well. In addition to that, these guys have all sorts of tools and resources and plans that they've got to bring growth to the organization to help you guys get those sales, right? Now, I want you to think about that for a second. If none of your team does anything without duplication, all Chris needs to do is get 5 sales a day. He can make $100,000 a month tomorrow. But what if he can just get, right, 1 in 5 of those people who come in, right, to get in one all-in sale, and that's all they ever do. Now how easy is it for them to get $100,000 a month? right? Or if you do what Lisa Torres Allen did, where she went and she got a black member, right? And then that person got a black member, and what's that? That's all of a sudden, that's $6,000, right, in commissions. Well, what if this person gets a black member, all of a sudden that's $9,000 in commissions, right? What if that person gets a black member, all of a sudden that's $12,000 in commissions, right? Why? Because you keep that first sale. All you've got to do to hit it is just produce. But imagine the power of getting people to do something simple. Empower Network was founded on that. If we can get focused back on that core message, bring people in however you want, but get them focused on blogging, because that's what's going to make your business sustainable and have the ability to grow incrementally every single month. How do you get to this level? Go get a black member. That's what you do first. Then what do? You get another one. Then what do? You get another one. Then what do? You get another one. As your confidence grows, what you're going to find is you're going to be able to do things like Chris, where you're not getting 10% of your people to go all in. You're all of a sudden getting 25% of them to go all in, or 30% of them to go all in, or 40% to go all in. It gets easier as you become more successful. And at Empower Network, we're going to be doing lots of things as a company, and they're also going to be doing lots of things, and this is why we're synergistic, to make it so it's more and more and more attractive all the time to become a black member, to go all in. It's going to get more attractive. There's going to be more value because we're focusing on the core of what it is that we do. Who's excited about that? Get all in, get it all in, help them get it all in. Get one to get one, teach one to teach one, right? That's what we do. And if we do that together, we can be a symbiotic entity that helps create hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who get $1 million ring. Jackie's getting his $1 million ring this weekend. I'm ranting on the ring a little bit, guys, but here's what I see. And this, I'll end with this because I don't know if we're over time or whatever, right? Here's what I see us for the next little bit. It's going to take us from now about 90 days to regain momentum. Okay, that's about what it will take. That's what momentum takes, real momentum takes. But it's going to be solid momentum like we started with, but without any of the problems, right? I was telling the leader this morning, when Facebook kicked us off, right, originally we lost 30% of our traffic, okay? Because social media booted us off, and we were just getting, you're seeing Empower Network. There's probably people who are annoyed to death with it because Empower Network posts were fucking everywhere, right? And then Facebook booted us off, but our traffic still grew by like 5% a month, right? It still grew by 5% a month being kicked off of Facebook. Well, now the way that we're doing it, we're not going to get kicked off anywhere because they're not going to be able to kick off all of our domains that we're building it on. We got some badass strategy going on here. Now we're doing this. They have to hire a full-time army of people in India just to try to track them. Now, the thing is, though, we have the ability to get back on social media, but to grow in a sustainable way while giving valuable content. And that's going to be a 90-day track to build that out to make sure that it's done right. And we will be the largest for-profit blogging network on the internet. And I want these guys to be the largest system on the internet. Why? Because we're symbiotic in the way that we build. They feed us, we feed them. Right? And so that's useful. So my goal is nothing short of creating 100 millionaires a year. I believe that if we had the resources that we have now at Empower Network, we wouldn't have done 150 million over the last few years like we have. I believe that we would have done close to $500 million in sales because we didn't really realize where all the sales were coming from. We didn't really realize how all the marketing was working, and we weren't really focused on the right things to optimize what it was that we had. Now we know what those things are, and now we've got the best teams in place to be able to make it grow strong. Right? What happens if you have the right focus on an all-in message and you have a right focus on the front end and the amount of traffic we had? We had 56 million unique page views a month on our site. 56 million. Just optimizing it a little bit, right? We literally, last year, would have done $150 to $250 million a year in sales, right? Sometimes you don't know what you don't know. What happens when we restore momentum and we have the ability to focus is unbelievable, right? And that's what we're going to have the capacity to do. So what I want you guys to do is to focus on a few things going into this event and coming out of this event. Number one, do what you got to do to get new members, right? You and those new members focus on the blogging challenge, right? Getting people all in, and then getting them to our next event. coming up in January that we're going to have. Right? Get them in however you want to get them in, whether it's paid ads, whether it's email marketing, whether it's blogging, whatever you do. And you and your team focus on blogging and quality blogging, right? Focus on it. Do hangouts on it. Focus on blogging. Focus on getting people to be Black members and getting them to upgrade in their first 7 days, right? If you focus, people can come up with $4,000 in 7 days, right? I promise you that you can. You can use their coaching to help people go all in their first 7 days, right? But you can do it yourself, right? And they have resources to help you do that as well. And we're going to be getting a lot better at doing it too to help you because we're symbiotic. See, we want the best marketing possible. I want them to have the best marketing possible because I want this to be a mutual success. All right? Get in, get people all in their first 7 days, and focus on that message. I promise you, there's not a person in here that could not get one all-in sale a week. There's not a person in here. If all of you got one Black member a week, that's $150,000 a year just for Black members, not including front-end sales you're making, not including residuals. It's $150,000 a year, right? 50 weeks in a year. 50 times 3,000, I think, is 150,000 a year. But as I demonstrated earlier, I'm bad at math, right? However, if you get one a week and you get people blogging, it's going to turn your one all in a week into a sustainable message, and you're going to be able to grow it to 2 a week, and then to 4 a week, and then eventually to 7 a week. And you hit 7 all-ins happening inside your code in a week, that's $100,000 a month. There's not a person in here that couldn't do that over the next year. That seems like an ungodly amount of money, but I promise you that God has more. So it's so who in here is excited about focusing on our core?
Yeah!
Who here is excited about the developments that these guys made at iPAS?
Smart people in a room, right? Is collaborating ideas, not as just affiliate and owner, but two affiliates who know the industry pretty well, and just saying we can make a really badass product, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, my goal, and this goes back. See, we have the ability to focus, right? We have the ability to focus, right? We can make our core. We can make that the most badass thing on the internet. All right. Why? Because nobody else is doing what we're doing. We are building the most badass for-profit blogging network online. We're going to give people the ability to build their business on a blog without really knowing what they're doing fast in something that's quality, that looks good, that loads fast, that's optimized for SEO. There's a whole bunch of other cool things that we're going to do with it. The core products we have in Power Network, they're going to be worked on and worked on and worked on and worked on, moving into a space coming up in the early next year where we're going to be going multilingual from the products and the back office to the funnels all at the same time, right? So you guys are going to be a part of something really exciting. You're going to be part of something that has the capacity to expand international, that you can build from anywhere in the world, and you still don't have to do one damn three-way call to get rich and famous. Anyways, I'm David Raymond. Give this man a hand. Ready? Come on. I appreciate you. Thank you for my black card.
Thank you, David. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I just want to mention, we want to get you to registration for 5 o'clock. There's food to go as you walk down the hall. Make sure you grab a bite real quick because Dave's going to talk for another 8 hours tonight, and then you'll be able to go to sleep. Or you never know. But if you guys want photos, videos, I urge you this weekend to do that so you can use this footage on your blog, okay? So don't be afraid to ask. If you see me in the hallway or whatever, if I have time, I'm there for you guys, okay? All right, love you guys. Thank you.